Welcome. It's a Dude Sports Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. We're live, back and better than ever on Hosanna Radio, Facebook Live on the Dude Sports Show page on Facebook, and will be uploaded on all platforms after the show on the Dude Sports Podcast on Apple and the Dude Sports Podcast on Spotify and etc. We are back and better than ever. Thank you for tuning in. We are here. We're here. We are here. What can I say? It's conference championship week, and we're about to delve in. We made it. It's been a long ride, and what can I say? Congrats to the Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the San Francisco 49ers. So, what's going on with the Bills fans today, huh? Oh, Lord. I love it. I love it when everybody who, for some reason, anoints a team before they even do anything. When you anoint a team before they even do anything, they get talked about, looked at as if they has already done something. They're looked at as if it's a shoo-in, a pencil them in for a Super Bowl, a conference championship, and etc. Pencil them in. You look, they're walking around. You get to a point where the team itself actually believe in what everybody is looking at them as. And I am happy that this certain team has come back down to earth. And don't get it twisted. I'm not here to, prey on someone's demise or whatnot. But let's put it like this. Stephen A. Smith, he has this thing going on right now where he loves when the Dallas Cowboys lose. Right? Now, one thing he always says is that the reason he's gotten to a point where he loves the Cowboys is when Cowboys lose is because of the fans. Because the fans have become so obnoxious. The fans has gotten to a point where they are walking around like they've won, like they haven't won a Super Bowl 20 years ago. Last time they won a Super Bowl was 1995. 1995. Let's count, shall we? 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 27 years. In 27 years. Right? But they walk around as if, oh, we're America's team this. Oh, we're American team that. So Stephen A. has got to a point where he's tired of it. Stephen A. has got to a point where, all right, I'm going to let y'all know that you guys are not the big bad Cowboys of the past time. So each time you guys lose, each time there's such great expectation, each time there's such great anticipation, you will get back down to earth and realize that you are not what you once was. Now, I am not at the level when it comes to the Bills. Stephen A. is, right? I just got to the point where not the fans have been obnoxious about the team and whatnot or where they at. I've got to the point where I'm sick of the media. The national media that has gotten to a point where they have already anointed, already minted the Buffalo Bills as Super Bowl champions. I've got to a point where I'm getting tired of the media being so obnoxious. The media, the national media, has become the fans of the Buffalo Bills. The national media, who has become the fan of Josh Allen. You have Tony Romo on national televised games calling Josh Allen Superman. I'm listening to Trump and he's calling Superman is at it again. I'm like, bro, what? Bro, they can't even get past Mahomes. Now, they can't get past Burrow. So now, everybody's looking at Josh Allen as the one behind Patrick Mahomes. But this whole time, it was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. And dag nabbit, I'm going to say this right here. If Joe Burrow, and matter of fact, I take that back. This is my prediction. When Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, he's no longer the number 2. He's the new number 1. I said it right here on the Dude Sports Show on Hosanna Radio every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. And on Facebook Live Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 on Facebook. Tune in. And also, after, will be uploaded on all platforms on the Dude Sports Podcast Show on Apple, Spotify, and all major platforms. So, now, can we please, the national media, can we please dial it down? Can we please dial it down? The Buffalo Bills are not, and I'm going to say this one more time, the Buffalo Bills are not what you thought they were. All right? And let it sink in. I know it's glorifying. You like Josh Allen? He He runs like a gazelle on the field and whatnot. He makes beautiful passes and whatnot. But guess what? When it comes to the big game the last couple of years, he has come short. And you guys have to come to that realization. What is the realization? The realization is you have to recalibrate your thought process on this team. Now, and I said it from the beginning. Shouts out to my boy Alvarez. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live Show on Facebook. And I said this from the beginning, right? I knew something was up because I kid you not, man. And this is continually bothering me, and it's going to continue bothering me because the Dolphins, if Tua was healthy, this whole script would have been different, man. And Tua was legitimately the real deal this year, man. And everybody's seen it. Everybody knew it. We beat Buffalo the first time that they came to Miami. We beat them, right? Then, shouts out to my boy Marlon. That was my quarterback back in the days. Shout out. Thanks for tuning in. Now, we beat them in the beginning of the season. The next time, into Buffalo, the snow game. We had them in the ropes. It took the Buffalo Bills a resilient effort to come back towards the end of the game to beat us by 3 points. When I seen that, I'm like, oh, we close. The Dolphins are close. And now we go to the playoffs and we have Skylar Thompson, the only healthy quarterback on our roster, and you only beat us by 3 points. Come on, bro. And I'm not going to lie to y'all boys, man. I'm a Dolphin fan through and through. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. Before that game, I thought the Dolphins was going to get molly-whopped up and down the field, man. All game. I honestly thought it was going to be a bloodbath. When I turned on the TV, had my chips, had my drink, I am mentally preparing myself to sit down on the couch and watch a blowout loss by the Dolphins. But then, it ended up being a game to the point where it was crunch time down in the fourth quarter, and it was a back-and-forth game all game. And we had the lead for a good period of time as well. When I seen that, and I looked that the Buffalo Bills was going to play Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, I realized, you know what? We had this team. If we almost had this team with a backup to the backup, I'm not so confident that they will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I said that last week here on the Do Sports Show on Hosanna Radio every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. Also on the Facebook Live Show on my Facebook page, Do Sports Show, from 6 p.m. to 8 on Facebook Live. And also always gets updated every show. At the end of the show, up to the Do Sports podcast feed on Apple and Spotify and all major platforms. I said that last week. I said, man, I don't believe in the Buffalo Bills. I said that. I said, I believe. I'm smelling some phoniness with the Buffalo Bills. And here we have it. The Buffalo Bills gets defeated by Joe Burrow. And let's really put this in perspective. Let's really watch and analyze what's really happening before our eyes. What is happening before our eyes is everybody is thinking about Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and all the other upper echelon quarterbacks. But you guys are going to have to start thinking about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is here to tell you guys, hey man, it's time to start talking about me as well when it comes to conversations of the best of the best. And the time is now. Joe Burrow, let's put this in perspective. Joe Burrow just won the championship with LSU. He came in the next season, the rookie season. He did pretty well, tore his ACLs out for the rest of the year. His second season, he brought the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, he was in the championship in college. Now he's in the AFC Championship once more time with another chance to make the Super Bowl, to make the championship, to make a championship game in 3 years out of the 4. Come on, man. There's nothing else to be said. Joe Burrow is that dude. Now, how can I say this? Right? You got the Buffalo Bills only scored 10 points. This highly touted offense, the quarterback that everybody called, Tony Romo called, Superman. He threw an interception, no touchdown. Dysfunction. You don't have a running game. That's the main problem for the Buffalo Bills right here. The problem is there is no running game. You can't make it far in any league, in any playoff, in any championship, or make it to the championship without a running game. 2-3 weeks ago, when we were in the thick of things with Miami Dolphins, there was a podcast on my podcast, on the Do Sports Podcast. You can check it out on the Apple Podcast and Spotify, and you can also check it up on Amazon Music. And if you go to my catalog, if you go to my episodes, there's one episode that says the title called "Run the Ball or You're Dead." And that show, I talked about how the Dolphins needed to focus on running the football. Everybody know how to pass. Everybody, it's established. You can pass the football. You have an elite passing game. But that will only take you so far. It will only take you so far. You will get to a point where the rubber meets the road, right? And when the rubber meets the road, what does that tell you? You have to run the ball. Because now, instead of them loading up the box, anticipating a run, defensive coordinator is like, hold up. These people not running the ball no more. Why are we putting people in the box? Hey, man, Audible. Middle linebacker looking up. Hey, defensive coordinator one, audible. Ringo, audible. Play back. We playing zone. And you go over there, we go over there. Don't attack the middle. We zoning now. They're not running the ball. So now guess what? Now there's no passing lanes available. When there's no passing lanes available, and they're just sitting on routes, sitting on lanes, on passing lanes, guess what? Now it's become harder for you to go down the field passing the ball. Because guess what? They are eliminating the one good thing that you can do. They realize that you can only do one good thing. Now we're focused on just eliminating that one good thing. We're focused on eliminating your passing game. Now we're going to dare you to run the ball. We don't even have anybody in the box. Run the ball. Come on. 8 carries for Josh Allen for 26 yards. Devin Singletary, 6 carries for 25 yards. James Cook, 5 carries for 13 yards. Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. What are you doing? How? On God's green earth, your quarterback has more carries than your starting running back. How is that possible? A team that's supposed to be in the running, in some people's mind, already won a Super Bowl, but in the running for a Super Bowl? How can you do that when you don't run the ball? Listen, folks. About a month and a half ago, here, I talked about it. It's on my podcast, right here on the Do Sports Podcast on Apple, Spotify. It says, run the ball or you're dead. That show was dedicated on me emphasizing running the ball. Because you're going to get to a point where, okay, yeah, you pass, but we're going to stop the pass. Can you run the ball? And there's no reason that Josh Allen, the starting quarterback, should have more carries than your starting running back. Ken Dorsey. How? You as the offensive coordinator allowed that to happen. And the crazy part about it is, when it comes to the Bengals are a team not really known for their running game. The Bengals are a team who occasionally run the ball. Their average run per carry normally is around 3.5 carries a game. This game shows that the Cincinnati Bengals, listen to the Do Sports Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 on Hosanna Radio and the Facebook Live show on Facebook, and also listen to it on the Do Sports Podcast on Apple and Spotify. They listen to that episode, Run the Ball or You're Dead. Because for some reason, in that game, they focused on running the ball. 20 carries for Joe Mixon. 20 carries for 100 yards. 105 yards, and a touchdown with 5.3 average per carry. Samaje Perine, the backup running back, has 7 carries for 33 yards, 4.7 yard average. Joe Burrow himself has 6 carries, and he don't even run the ball like that for 31 yards or 5.2 average per carry. That's a total of 33 carries for close to 170 yards. 170 yards of rushing. 170 rushing yards. What does that tell you? That they listen to the Do Sports Podcast every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8. And it also tells you that, hey, man, in order for us to get where we need to go, we need to run the ball. Everybody knows Joe Burrow can pass the ball. And quite frankly, when you run the ball, it helps your quarterback back out. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, the other day, I forgot what game was it. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I'm going to go back to that game. What is their playoff game? Let me go back to that game. The playoff game against, who was it against? I got it for you right here. Against the Dallas Cowboys. Right? Now, here's the thing. Let me go to Tom Brady's stats. Right here. Tom Brady. We all know Tom Brady can throw the ball. Am I correct? We all know Tom Brady can throw the ball. Duh. But my thing is like this. Tom Brady threw. Listen to this stat. This is crazy. A 45-year-old, by the way. All right? He was 35 of 66 for 351, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Now, see, I don't know if you guys heard me with this stat. I'm going to repeat the completions and the attempts. Now, pay attention to the attempts. He was 35 for 66. What does that mean? That means that for some reason, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers thought it was wise for Tom Brady to throw 66 times. He threw the ball 66 times. Now, he threw the ball 66 times, right? Let's see the running back stats. Rashad White, 7 carries for 41 yards for 5.9 average. Leonard Fournette, 5 carries, 11 yards, 2.2 average. A total of 12 carries for 52 yards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ooh-wee. That's back in the day, y'all know about that. Now, when you run the ball, it helps out the quarterback. Now, if I'm a quarterback and each offensive play, I'm like, oh man, this is another passing play. Damn, bro, they're not gonna throw in a running play every now and then, but my arm hurt, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand how, as a quarterback, how gratifying it feels where all I gotta do every now and then, it's like having a break on the field. We at work, right? We work for 8 hours. Right, Mitch? Mm-hmm. We work for 8 hours. And for 8 hours, right? In those 8 hours, within the first 5 or 4, we want a break. We're like, man, when the break coming, man? When the break coming? Just listen. We're working for 8 hours. And the whole break, we are wondering about that 30-minute break. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. That 30-minute break feels like 5 hours, man, once you're taking that 30-minute break. And imagine, there are some jobs where you're working more than 8 hours, you don't get a break at all. Right? And for somebody who works 8 hours, while they're working, all they are thinking about is those 30 minutes. Those 30 minutes will make you or break you during a shift. I'm talking about you rubbing your head. Like, I'm gonna get this break, man. I need to get on this break. I'm tired. I'm trying to get on this break. They come for your break, 30 minutes, all right. Everybody know you squeezing an extra 35 minutes. Some people who stretch it, squeeze in 40, squeeze an extra 10 minutes. Oh, my bad, I lost track of time, dog. Now, once you take that break, you good for the rest of the night. You chilling. You don't use the restroom if you needed to use the restroom. You don't call the old girl, see how everybody doing at the house with the kids. Call your wife, everybody, okay, cool. Call mommy, see mommy doing okay. Call daddy, make sure daddy all right. Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Call your sister if you need to borrow money from her, something like that. You know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do in them 30 minutes. After that, you straight. You done handle business. Now you good. Now you're just waiting for the finish line to go home. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now, imagine how gratifying that is. I just gave you that picture. I just gave you that illustration. Now, as a quarterback is really out there for like what? They playing for like what? The game is on for like 3, 4, 5 hours. So you on the field playing for like maybe 5 hours. TV timeouts, whatnot, stuff like that. But when you're on the field and every play is a throwing play, that's hard. When you run the ball as a quarterback, when you just say, ready, hi, and turn around and just hand the ball off to a running back, that's like a break. That's like a 30-minute break within the game. And then when the running back runs for 10 yards or whatnot, now you just have a more gratifying mindset. Ooh, yeah, that man just ran for 10 yards. That's first down. All right, let's go, y'all boys. We walking. I ain't had to pass the ball. We good. And then it's even more gratifying where the running back runs for like 20 yards, 25 yards. Now you're like, man, we going down. Hey, we marching down the field. Brian ain't even got to pass that much this drive, man. Man, we straight. It's like a break. It helps out the quarterback mentally and physically. It rests their arm because as the game goes, their arm is weaker because you keep throwing. Bruh, you had a 45-year-old quarterback. You had a 45-year-old quarterback throwing the ball for 66 times. Shouts out to Fraser, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. You had a 45-year-old quarterback throwing the ball for 66 times. Byron Leftwich. You my dog. I like you, man. I've been watching you in Jacksonville back in the day. You probably should have took the Jacksonville job last season when they interviewed you and they wanted to give it to you. And they fired you. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, I can't say that I don't like the fact that they fired you, but my thing is like, how can you defend this, bro? They bring you to the office and they bring this up to you and say, man, listen, man, the offense, I mean, it kind of got one-dimensional towards the end of the season. I mean, we're not running the ball. And my thing is like, you got Leonard Fournette back there. He's a good running back. Rachaad White, 2 good running backs. Why are you not giving the ball to them? So what? I always learned this. You got to stick with the running game. Even how bad it is, man. Even if it's not bringing the production that you expected or you would want it to be, you still have to stick with the running game, man. and 66 attempts. Like I kind of understand why they let Brian Leftwich go, because towards the end of the season they weren't running the football. Like, would I have given him maybe one more year? Yes, but sometimes when you have these decisions and you have the results towards the end of the year, and the owner is looking at you like, man, what can we do differently? Like, somebody has at certain times, and sometimes in business, there's certain people got to take the blame. Somebody got to take the hit, and the head coach is like, I'm not taking the hit. I'm trying to stay head coach. Guess what? All right, owner such and such. I guess I'm gonna have to let the offensive coordinator go. We're gonna go a different direction, and that's what they did. Now, Buffalo Bills, this offseason, you need to get a running back or something, man. Do what San Francisco did. Trade for McCaffrey, or trade for a solid running back. You got the New York Giants quarterback that's about to be free agent. See if you can take him. I don't know, like running back. Saquon Barkley. I want Miami to sign him. That's who I want Miami to sign. You feel what I'm saying? If Giants can't come up with a contract extension with him and whatnot. Like that would be a great pickup for Miami. You know what I'm saying? That would really solidify the Dolphins' running back position. Now, for the Buffalo Bills, you need to run the ball, man. Coming next year, man. And the pressure's on for this head coach for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, you've solidified, you brought the team into a respectable level, and you're a perennial contender year in and year out. But you have to get to a point where you start winning these big games. And Sean McDermott, this 2 years in a row, you didn't make the Super Bowl. And everybody from the beginning of the season is anointing you guys as the Super Bowl favorite. So now, next year, Sean McDermott, you are on the hot seat. Expectations are at an all-time high for the Buffalo Bills, for the guy Tony Romo calls Superman, and Josh Allen, right? Expectations are all-time high, man. Pressure's on. And let's move on to the next. We have the Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, my God, bro. Dallas, what are we going to do with you, bro? You're literally single-handedly is making Stephen A. a killing, bro. You are single-handedly turning Stephen A. into a multi-millionaire year in and year out, bro. Because this man is taking this stuff to the bank, bro. To the bank. Having fun and just collecting checks with this, man. You have to start winning big playoff games. And Mike McCarthy, I defended you. Right? You got your playoff win. I went with you to beat Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. And you laid an egg. Now, Mike McCarthy, this coming season, you're on the hot seat. Big expectations next season for you. And what really was the turning point for this game was when Tony Pollard got hurt. I kid you not. The minute I seen Tony Pollard getting caught out the field, I'm like, shoot. There goes the game. Ezekiel Elliott, he tried. He tried to take over, but it's got like I'm here. You heard it here first on the Do Sports Show every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 on Hosanna Radio on hosanaradio.org.com and on the Facebook Live show on the Do Space Facebook show on Facebook and every day after being uploaded on Apple, Spotify, and all major platforms. Ezekiel Elliott, you were a wonderful, wonderful talent, man. You was one of the best running backs to come out of the Ohio State University. But my brother, my friend, that I don't know in person, but, you know, I feel like we could be friends if we know each other. Bro, Ezekiel Elliott's done. You are done. And, yeah, it's time, man. It might be time for Ezekiel Elliott to retire. And it's a sad it didn't look good. Ezekiel Elliott tried, man. The man tried, but he can't run anymore, man. He's only a short yardage back now. That's it. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Damian Tomlinson. The Damian Tomlinson, towards the end of his career with the New York Jets, you could see him, you know, having short bursts here and there, every now and then. But you could see it was over. You could see it was done. Shouts out to Samson. Thank you for tuning in once again. Thank you. You could see it was over, right? And this is the same predicament with Ezekiel Elliott. It's time. It's time. I think it's over with. And now, let's move on. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. I mean, there was years, man. There was years that I defended you. I defended you to get your money. I said, give the man his money. Right? I didn't think the money you were asking for was what you was worth. But the way the market was, hey, man, give him his money. Did I think he was a $40 million quarterback? No, I didn't think so. But you got your money. Once you get your money, once you got your $40 million contract, it's time to deliver results. It's time to win playoff games. Now, give you credit. You won one playoff game this year. Hey, that's more than anybody else. I understand that. But you are the $40 million quarterback. Brock Purdy is making $700,000. $700,000. It's not even $1 million this year, guys. Not even $1 million. And you lost to him. You are the $40 million quarterback. You are the franchise guy. You are what they call the quarterback of the America's team. That's what they say. And come on, man. 2 interceptions. Come on. I don't know, man. Hey, next year, pressure's on, man. Mike McCarthy. If you don't get your Tampa Bay, the Dallas Cowboys further than what you brought them this year, you might be out. And now here's the thing, right? You have coaches out there waiting for your downfall to get you swoop in and get your job, man. You know, I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit annoying to me, to be honest. If I'm doing a job and everybody and their mama know there's somebody else that's back there waiting for my job, waiting for me to fail, to take my job, how am I gonna feel? How am I gonna feel that everybody named mama is already talking as if I'm about to get, as if I'm already gonna lose my job. Like I'm not still here as the head coach. Like I didn't win a Super Bowl myself. I don't understand it. If I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, and me should have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, but then everybody look at Misha as the mathematician and look at me as the other guy that's not the mathematician. But we both have the same degree. How does that make sense? Why am I getting looked at? Look like the person that don't deserve the job. Look like the person that don't have the credentials. Why am I looked at as the person that don't have the credentials that the other person had? When we have the same identical credentials. How does that make sense? How is that happening? And it's starting to frustrate me. Shouts out to the Philadelphia Eagles. See, this was the game that people predicted was going to be a game where predicted a team that was going to win handily and did win handily. Right? Shouts out to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. And shouts out to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, man, just keeps on humming. And shouts out to the Giants. They did a great year. Nobody expected them to get where they was at this year. They won a playoff game. And to be honest, your head coach was over in New York. Your old assistant coordinator was over there in New York. And maybe if he was there, you guys would have won this game. Because I'm pretty sure he would have ran the ball. Let me look at his running stats. Saquon Barkley, 9 carries, 61 yards. Daniel Jones, 6 carries, 24 yards. Matt Breida, 4 carries, 23 yards. Gary Brightwell, 1 carry, 10 yards. So that's a total of 20 carries for 120 yards. 20 carries, 120 yards. That is sticking to the run game. Even though he lost, but he still stuck to the run game. If you just had that, if the Buffalo Bills just had that, they could have possibly won this game. And shouts out to Philadelphia Eagles. The last game last week was the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Shouts out to Jacksonville. Y'all did a good job this year, man. Better than expected. Shouts out to Doug Peterson. Should have never got fired from Philadelphia. He won the franchise's first Super Bowl, then gets fired 2 years later. That doesn't make sense to me. To this day, I still don't understand it. It don't make sense to me at all. But guess what? He's now with Jacksonville, and he got them their first win in a long time. Right? And now, Kansas City Chiefs, they won 27-20. And there's one thing during the game that I will say about the game when I was watching this game. Right? Patrick Mahomes had a high ankle sprain. And the way I seen him limping on that field, it just give me cause for pause for the next game, man. Is he going to be ready for the Kansas City Chiefs? Because guess what? It's going to be like shark that tastes blood in the water. They know that Patrick Mahomes is not 100%. They know that Patrick Mahomes has one ankle that's hurting like a mother. They know that Patrick Mahomes is not going to be running around the way he normally runs around because he will not be 100%. And to be honest, when I heard that he was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain takes 6 to 8 weeks to recover. You cannot play on a high ankle sprain. But for some reason, Patrick Mahomes came back on the field. He was like, hell no. Chad Henne, an old quarterback from 15 years ago. I didn't even know man was still in the league. Came out here and did a touchdown drive for old time's sake. Shout out to Chad Henne. So now, shout out to Chad Henne. But Patrick Mahomes was like, nah, I got to get back on that field. Limping and all. That man finished the game. That was to guts. I got to give him that. That took guts. Right? And he will be on that field next week. We just don't know how healthy he will be. But I still got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Chiefs. But we'll talk about that on our next break, after our break. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Do Sports Show. We'll be right back after these messages, if we had some messages. But we will be right back after these messages. Thank you for tuning in to the Do Sports Show.
Make some noise if you know you're blessed.